What's up, YouTube fans? Len Analyst here, back to the video. And today, this is a video that I man, let's get right into it. Should we have accepted the trade that would have involved us acquiring Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris? At the time it was proposed to us, we played Boston that same night. Obviously, if you get wind that you're traded, before a game, obviously, it's not, I thought that maybe Travis would actually accept the deal, take on Tobias's contract, but he didn't want to make the move because we wanted to have, John and Bogey for that game against the Celtics. I would not mind trading John Collins. I've said this before. I've had many conversations with many people, and they all ask me, would you mind trading John Collins? If so, what would your asking price be? My asking price, well, it's kind of similar to Slink's asking price, which it really doesn't matter what my asking price is. It Slink's the GM. But it would have to be, I've said this many times, it would have to be a guy of the caliber of Ben Simmons, or a guy like a Porzingis, a Siakam, a Anthony Davis. It would have to be a guy like that if I'm going to trade John Collins, because I would have to improve at that position. I'm not going to trade John Collins for a decent player in draft picks. It wouldn't really be smart, to be honest, to take a step down at that position for draft picks, when, yes, draft picks are important, for bigger deals, but it just would not be the smartest thing to do, to move a guy for, first of all, I see many rumors out there, John Collins for Derek White. That trade makes no sense. It gives us no better chance at competing, turning the season around, and winning a title and competing in the playoffs. Adding another guard would not help. So it wouldn't make any sense to make a move for another guard. Move Collins for another guard. Look, right now, if all my other options are guards, Marcus Smart, Derek White, teams are offering guards for John Collins, I'm going to take Philadelphia up on that offer. And this is not an overreaction. This is not a panic move. When you assess what has gone on, although I would substitute Bogey for Gallo. I love Gallo. He's a great guy, great player for us, gives us something great off the bench, but his salary holds more. But when you look at the fact that you're going to be getting Ben Simmons, that's going to help defensively. You're getting Ben, who can play all positions. He's 6'11", he can play all positions. He can play point guard, he can play shooting guard, he can play small forward, power forward, center, whatever you need him to play. And Ben gives you that versatility. To be honest, I think things are already stirring up in Philadelphia as is. And I don't think that Ben was all in during his time in Philadelphia in the series against us. I've seen Ben take those dunks that he passed up in the series. I've seen Ben take some shots. I've seen Ben do that. Ben is the same one that scored 30 points against the Utah Jazz. Ben can score. I don't think that Ben was trying to score. That's what I do think. I've seen Ben shoot. I see him training when he shoots. He's shot, shots in a game. Ben is a very good player, but the asking price is insane. Now, 3 first-round picks. It depends. Is it 3 future first-round picks, or is it 3, first-round picks this year in the draft? We have 3 first-round picks this year. Now, if you're talking about 3 first-round picks this year, I'm not too sure that we can. I mean, I would be if I had to. I would trade our 3 first-round picks this year because, I mean, unless we're gonna trade up to get a top 3 pick to where we can get rid of Clint Capella, I'm not gonna be interested in anyone in the draft this year that can really help us win the title. We're not in the draft to try to build and build pieces around Trey. We're trying to win now, put winning and contending pieces around Trey. What putting Ben next to Trey does is, I have said many times, I said I would love if we could get Ben and a Jaylen Brown or a Bradley Beal. Ben, guaranteed. And then Jaylen Brown or Bradley Beal, because we need that defense. We need that playmaking. We need that second ball handler. We need a versatile player. But man, nights like last night, we need a second option. We need a true second option. We need a second option when Trey wants to. I guess Trey was not feeling it last night, so he didn't go. So when you look at the fact that you would have a Jaylen Brown or a Bradley Beal, you don't have to really worry. I think we win last night if we had a second option next to Trey. Kevin steps up, but he's more of a third, fourth option for us. So we don't really have a true second option that we can go to. That would help us win. As you saw, we lost last night because of a lack of everything. Lack of coaching, lack of a second option, lack of defense, lack of understanding, lack of adjustments. So it's a lot of things that Travis is going to have to look at this trade deadline. But to be honest, at this trade deadline, I was debating. Even we were on the 7-game win streak, I was thinking in my head, this team looks good now. What happens after the trade deadline? Maybe if we something happens to the point where we hit a wall like we did, and it gets pretty bad to the point where we're not even in the playoff picture. And it can very well happen. It can very well happen. Trey's going to try to keep us in every game that he can. The role players play well around him. But the issue is when Trey's not on the floor, John and Clint look like they don't even belong in the NBA. It's a true issue that we have. So you're looking at replacing Ben. So, I mean, you're looking at replacing John. Tobias right now is playing better than John. That would be an upgrade. Tobias will play the 4. Ben could play the 3 or the 2. If all it cost, if we had to take on Tobias's contract, I would just pay the luxury. I would just go a little bit into the luxury tax and pay it back later, because Tony has been very passionate about bringing a championship to Atlanta, and I understand that he lets Travis kind of do whatever. I understand that GMs are just not people that just want to make sudden moves, because that's why they are GMs, because they don't make sudden moves off emotion. But at least from what I'm seeing, at this trade deadline, this is going to be a crucial trade deadline on how the rest of the season is going to go. I do not see this team making a top 8 seed if we do not make a move at the trade deadline. We play well. Don't get me wrong. We play well. We play really well. But the lack of defense, man, it's killing us. It's killing us. And they say, GMs can't really be greedy. At the trade deadline, I would be greedy. I would first go after Ben Simmons, and then I need a second guy next to Trey, because Trey could not be the only guy. We've seen what happens when teams blitz Trey, when teams trap Trey. Eventually, he's going to get into a rhythm. He's going to figure a way out of it. But when you play a team that's going to blitz Trey, throw everything they got at Trey, or if you have a guy I mean, or if Trey has a game like he did Game 7 against the Sixers, you need that second guy. You need a second guy that teams have to prepare for. Yeah, you can't leave Bogey open. Yeah, you can't leave Herter open. Yeah, you can't leave. You can't leave Gallo open. Lou. But they're just they're role players and they're not consistent. Whereas when you prepare for the Atlanta Hawks, you got to prepare for Trae Young. Okay, he's a playmaker, he's a scorer, he's a facilitator, he's all that himself. Now you got to prepare for Jaylen Brown, who's an all-star, who's an efficient scorer, who's a game he's just a game changer. Then you got to prepare for Ben Simmons, where Ben is able to create plays, lock you down on defense. You got to figure out what ways, his size. It's just so many things that you got to look at. And we've learned from the playoffs, and I almost feel like with our additions, we've stepped down this year. Off-ball Lou's okay. I like Lou more on the ball. I think we need to trade DeLon along with a bigger deal. Not even replacing DeLon, unless we can get a starting caliber point guard to be our backup point guard. Other than that, I would not be interested in replacing DeLon. I like Lou as the backup point guard, and it's kind of crazy. You just come off a 7-game win streak. We have 4 games, and we have 9 days into the trade deadline. So, really 8.5 days into the trade deadline. I'm excited for it, but we have things to address, and they're very serious things, because the trade deadline always makes or break the season. We need to look at buyers. We need to look at sellers. We need to look at everything. We need to look at what's it truly going to cost. This is lockdown time. What's it truly going to cost for Ben Simmons? If it's going to cost John Collins and 3 first-round picks, we'll be willing to accept the deal. We'll send out 3 first-round picks. We'll send out John Collins, and we'll take on Ben Simmons so that he can play the 4. That's not all. Ben Simmons is not going to just seal our problems 100%. He'll help us defensively. He'll help us with creating plays, but that's not all where we struggle. Nate McMillan is not going to change with the way he coaches. So we need players that will kind of harden what he's doing, hide what he's doing. He's in a 10-man rotation. It doesn't work, and 8-man rotation last night. Crazy off of back-to-back. But we need Ben, and we need to look at the price for Bradley Beal. If we need to involve multiple teams, we will involve multiple teams. We need to look at the price for Ben. We need to look at the price of C.J. McCollum, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell. These guys are available. Ben Simmons, we know, is 100% available. And if it's just going to cost us John Collins, maybe Danilo, if we want Tobias, if we get Tobias and Ben, that's good. But we need to take steps up. Our team is very good, but it's not playoff good. It's not playoff good. And I was talking to Rico Browner in the comment section earlier, and he was saying, how the Hawks fan base, overreacts. I get that. I overreact sometimes, but when you look at what we have right now, do you look at this team and say we're a championship team? Who's our second option? We have no second option. John is supposed to be our second option according to money, but he's not. He's not. He's inconsistent without Trey on the floor. He looks like a player that needs to be on a vet's minimum. He does not look good without Trey on the floor, making him look good with the lobs and the playmaking and the passes. This is a long video, but I'm just saying, should the Hawks have really declined that trade? Are 3 first-round picks that valuable? I don't think it was. Tobias, I like Tobias. I do not think that Tobias and Ben, those 2 players, would help us get over the top, but it would definitely push us into home court advantage contention. We need a team. Not saying we need to put together a super team, but get true help. We did the best that we could in free agency, but now that we have tradable assets, I would keep Bogey, I would keep Huter, I would keep Hunter if I could. Now, if I could get Donovan Mitchell, those guys would have to go. If I could get Jaylen Brown, we'll see. But Tobias and Ben, I love those guys on the Hawks because I think they fit. I think it gives us options. It gives us versatility. And in the offseason, Clint Capela's going to have to go. He's terrible without Trey on the floor. He's terrible in general. He can't guard anyone. Blocking shots is all he's good for. He can't make free throws. He rebounds every other night. Clinton's got to go. Clint's got to go. Maybe you save up and package some picks in the draft to move up to replace Clint Capela. I don't know. Maybe you move up a Kongwu. I have no idea. But, I'll see you guys in my next video. Let me know in the comment section. Does Tobias and Ben help us? Or do you think we need Tobias and Ben and more? Let me know in the comment section, guys. This is the longest video I've ever had. But let me know, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. How we going?